What's up, everybody? Welcome to another edition of Whiskey Delta, brought to you by Military Gaming League. In this show, we find the movers and shakers in the military and veteran gaming community, those folks that go out and engage and bring together an inclusive community, causing mischief, mayhem, amazing production value things, and just are an absolute pleasure and joy to watch, be around. Our guest for this very first episode of 2021. He's a good friend of mine. I've been following this guy since, very beginning of last year when he was still a teeny tiny streamer, averaging about 20, 30 viewers at a crack. Now, as of today, as of this recording, he just got Twitch partner. Dude is averaging anywhere from 100 plus viewers at a crack. Good friend of mine, Marine Corps vet. Sorry. Holy crap. Bud, how are you? Welcome to Whiskey Delta.
Man, I'm well. It's today's been a day. You're right. Today I actually got the partner acceptance, I would say about 3 p.m. Eastern. So yeah, it's been a whirlwind of a day for sure. Thank you so much for having me on your show. I'm excited. I'm excited to kind of go over a little bit of my path, as you stated, 20 viewers or so. And I mean, I think you've actually seen me when I took a break, when I came back. I mean, it's been quite the journey for sure. So it's nice.
Absolutely. Let's get into some details, because everybody knows how I like to get into details. What got you into gaming? Did you come out of the womb with a controller? It's one of my favorite questions. Did you just came out of Mama Sorrey's like holding a controller in each hand and be like, I'm playing games?
Yeah, I have two steps. I have two steps to this actually. It's kind of interesting. So I was your typical young gamer, right? Pokemon came out. I had a Game Boy. So I always played like games like that. But it was never like competitive gaming. What opened my eyes was I was a junior in high school, and I started to hang out with a buddy who was playing Gears of War on Xbox, and I was like, "Oh, this is interesting." And it was online. I never played online before, and that just sparked a whole new. That opened up my world for the online gaming community, and I think that moment I became addicted and hooked, and I haven't looked back. And that's just something that I'm really thankful for, because I think if I never would have stumbled upon Gears of War in the Xbox Online community, I don't think I'd be here right now. It was like my first, my first touch of it, my first dose of it, and I just can't get enough of it.
Gears of War, what a game! Just a fantastic entry into the gaming world. There's still pro circuits going on for that online pew pew buzzsaw and wrecking and working folks. Holy cow!
Yeah,
that was high school for you. So I would imagine shortly thereafter you decided to join the Marine Corps.
Correct. Yeah. So my life journey has been kind of interesting and different than maybe some. I was a troubled teen. I would say didn't really do well in school. Got into a bit of a trouble. And then when I turned 18, I went to did my first stint in jail. I was breaking into houses, breaking into cars. I was kind of a product of the streets. I grew up in the ghetto and didn't really have a strong family ties. My father not being in the picture, my mother being a drug addict herself. So I really didn't have like that stable home life. So I found myself in a lot of trouble. Went to jail my first time. It was a big scare. And that's when I found the Marine Corps. And basically they gave you that, hey, do you want to do something with your life? I was like, kind of, yeah. Jail's not really fun. What I'm doing right now is not really fun. I think I kind of had a moment where I'm like, I'm gonna either end up in prison or dead. I was hanging out with the local gang and just doing things that you shouldn't be doing. And so I ended up joining the Marines. And my recruiter came to my court hearing. And I remember, I'll never forget it. The judge gave you that. It's like almost like out of a movie. They said, we would rather see you serve our country than serve time behind bars. And that was kind of like my pass, my, hey, you get a do-over, don't mess up again. So yeah, I joined the Marine Corps, and that was my first moment of really growing up. It was quite the eye-opener, not growing up without a father, was, and then going to the Marine, and you have a lot of daddies, as they like to say. And yeah, it really changed my life. That was my moment of maturing and growing up. And the Marine Corps really saved me. Without the Marine Corps, I have no doubt in my mind that I would probably be in a grave right now or be serving some serious time in prison, and I'm confident with that. And the path that I have now is a huge credit to them. I mean, they definitely turned me into a trouble. I went from a troubled boy to a mature man, as most of us military members do. We really do mature once we join the military, in a sense.
Having seen some of your
Yeah,
streams,
yeah,
maturity
in a
is
sense, yeah,
ma-
yeah.
maturity is a very relative thing.
Yeah,
We'll get into that. I'm sure there's going to be some clips
yeah,
associated with this interview that are going to show some levels of maturity. But that is the classic quintessential, hey, go enlist or go to jail. You
yep,
don't
yep.
you don't hear that story very often. It's rare these days. It's rare
Mhm.
for current generation. It was very much uh more of a almost a boomer generation, for lack of. It was a World War II, World War I,
Yeah,
clean up, sign up, and get yourself squared away. So I
yep.
think a lot of that has to do with the judge legal system in the current region, and it's
Yeah,
great
I
that you were
definitely
able
got
to
lucky.
have that option, and that's what you picked, and you came out successful for it. So let's talk a
Yeah.
little bit about your time in service, and give us something memorable, something that really, like, you were given the opportunity to grow up and mature and become your own man.
Yeah, so that actually
What
I'm actually
really
gonna go
sticks
from the
with you?
beginning. Even from the
Okay.
very beginning at boot camp, for example, was a moment for me of realizing that I might be a little bit different than others, and I don't mean that like in an arrogant way. But I started to realize that maybe I'm more of a leader than what I had thought before, because I instantly started to take on leadership roles right off the bat in boot camp, and that was kind of my first eye opener where I was like, okay, not only can I do this, but I can do this well. Um, and, that was just instantly creating that bond that it's when you don't grow up with a family and then all of a sudden you get, 100 brothers and you get these quote unquote dads all of a sudden, it changes your whole mindset. And for me, that was one of the most memorable things. It's just the creating that family kind of feel. The first time in my life I really had where I really felt like people they loved me like a family member. Like I knew that this guy right here next to me would die for me. And that's a really unique feeling when you feel it for the first time at the age of 19 or 18, 19. When you feel it for the first time, it kind of really opens your eyes. And that was a big moment for me. Um, Obviously my journey took some wild rides in the Marine Corps as many do. And I end up near the end of it, I end up working for a little bit at the National Naval Medical Center, which is in Bethesda, Maryland, one of the largest naval hospitals on the East Coast. This is right around the time when Walter Reed was going through a lot of stuff for like black mold, and they're in a lot of heat in the public eyes. And I got to work with a lot of disabled military members, a lot of their families, and I got assigned a specific role where I would talk to these Marines who were rehabbing, because a lot of them they want to talk to other Marines. They don't want to talk to civilians. They don't want to talk to a Navy person who's only ever been in a hospital. They want to talk to other people who have done things that they've done. It makes them connect and bond better. And then that was my first time dipping my toes into the Wounded Warrior Project. Then I got to work with them a little bit. That was a blast. We did a lot of events. We went to a lot of, we went to baseball games, behind the scenes of like WWE events. It was just really cool. Just the entire journey, I guess, had its twists and turns. But overall, for me, when I take back from that, and what I use on my stream, to kind of tie my stream in, is family. And I appreciate a lot of my streams. It's family, and I look at my streams similar to how I was taken in the Marine Corps. Is there's a lot of misfits, a lot of personalities, and you got to find a way to tie it all in and work together as one well-oiled machine. And that's exactly what I do on my stream now. There's a lot of, you'll get your trolley kind of people, you'll get your people who are depressed, you'll get your people who are super happy, and you got to find a way to make it all work. You got to tie it in and create a family environment where everybody feels safe and they're all having fun. And for me in the military, they taught me a lot, and I use it, to this day, on Twitch. And people might think that sounds silly, but there's a lot of correlations between the family kind of feel.
That nurturing environment, that drive, has definitely stuck with you from the time that I have seen you streaming. from your time in service, helping out with Wounded Warrior, you've constantly been giving back, nonstop, every time. You and I have had several conversations behind the scenes about things that can be done in the future for sending a veteran off to the next convention and doing a fundraiser for that. And for one single streamer to say, "Hey, I'm going to set out, I'm going to do this," and make it happen, because those conversations have been post. You've already done it. You know you can do it, and you plan on doing it again. And that's just a one-off. You're very inclusive with everything that you do, and it's amazing why we bring folks just like you and you onto Whiskey Delta to recognize, hey, this guy's a go-getter. He cares about other people. He's constantly nurturing folks. It doesn't matter how negative they are when they show up in your channel. The roasts start to happen, and then you just bring them in. You kill it with kindness every freaking time. And it is a sight to behold every time. And it's no wonder why your channel has grown the way that it has grown in such a short time. It's
this is a unique, like I said, there's so many unique people, and like I've definitely taken it because I know I was a troubled young human being. So I think a lot of these troubled people who come into my stream, they kind of look for attention. You know, sometimes just pulling them, as you've seen live, I pulled them into a voice chat where I could potentially get in trouble if they say the wrong thing. And I half dad them, half marine them. And I kind of get in their ass a little bit. And, you know, a few of these guys have come back many times now, and they're part of the community now. And you would never know they're a troll. You would never know in a million years that they were once, you know, being a jackass, and now they're loving and you know, part of the family. Because sometimes they're looking for that father figure too.
Somebody wants to get a hold of you, if they want to slide in your DMs, if they want to check you out on Twitch, what are your links?
So my Twitter is by far the best. The Twitter is by far the easiest way to get a hold of me. That's Sorrey TV, SORREY TV. That's definitely the easiest one. Then obviously there's a Discord that works, but you know, you need I think my Discord is Sorrey #0824. I'll never change that, and that's homage to Kobe Bryant. Big time Kobe fan. You know, fan. That's one of the only celebrities I ever cried over. So hopefully, by me saying that, it kind of keeps it in your brain as well. 824. Yeah, those are my two mains. Obviously, Twitch Whispers work as well. I try to be pretty helpful when it comes to any kind of information that I can give you. I know that I was once a nobody, you know, in a sense. I'm not saying that, you know, maybe you're not a nobody, but you know, in the world, you know, you feel like you don't really know anybody. I try to be open for everyone. You know, I was once there. I was once, you know, looking for help, and I wish there was somebody, I guess, like a me available to talk to me, because I came into this and I immediately joined a follow for follow community. I had no idea. They wrote me in, and yeah, my first like 150 follows were all follow for follow community. And in my head, I was like, oh my God, we're growing quickly. Holy crap. And I got 150 follows. I look over and there's one viewer, and I'm like, well, wait a second, where are all these viewers at that are following me? I had no idea. So if I can save, you know, a few of you from falling into that trap, then yeah, slide in. Don't be. Listen, at the end of the day, viewer, you know, whether I'm at 100 viewers or whatever, I'm still just a dude. You know, I wake up in the morning, I eat breakfast, I take a dump. We're the same. I just have a few more viewers. That's all it is. We are the same. And I try to tell people that, and that's just who I'm gonna be, you know, forever. I don't think I'll ever change. I don't think, you know, quote unquote fame or whatever, you know, is ever gonna get to my head. I'm grounded. I came from nothing. I think when you come from nothing, it's easier. I definitely have been on Twitch long enough to know the silver spoons, right? The ones who maybe were always popular in high school or always had money, you know, because they have a very snooty attitude. They don't want to be bothered. You know, I've been ignored numerous times myself. And I look at that, I'm like, that's never gonna be me. That's not gonna be me. I don't give a shit. You know, even if I keep growing and my DMs get more and more, you know, then it's gonna take me a little bit longer to respond. But I'm always gonna be that person that's open to talking, especially if somebody needs help, and especially if you're a veteran. I mean, you're gonna be, you know, make sure if you lead with that, hey, I served, I'm gonna instantly respond to you. That's my number one. I always try to help out, you know, the brothers and the sisters of the military. So
It's an absolute fact right there. He is very quick to respond to a veteran active duty, but he's also he is extremely quick to respond to anybody in need. Very inclusive, raising the bar on mental health awareness, charities, you name it. This guy has done it. If you haven't seen the streams, go check them out, please.
Appreciate you.
Absolutely. The folks that we bring in here on Whiskey Delta are the real ones. They're the folks that you should look to set the example and to emulate, but in your own way. You got to do it your own way. So, without further ado, this has been another episode of Whiskey Delta, brought to you by Military Gaming League. I am Mike Devil Karnowski. We got into some details with the one and only Sorrey. He's amazing. He's fabulous. He's fantastic. He's naughty. He twerks like nobody's business. And
Yeah.
you really need to go check. You really need to go check him out.
Thanks,
Thank
man.
you
I
so much for
appreciate it, dude.
tuning in. Thank you so much for tuning in, folks. It's been a great first episode of 2021. Sorry, thanks again. We
Hey,
appreciate
thanks,
you.
man. Thanks for having me, dude. What an honor, man. Seriously, thank you so much for thinking of me, for including me, and for having me here. And hopefully, I can help some others out, and we can get this ball rolling, dude. So, cheers to 2021. I know 2020 sucked for a lot of you. Let's make this year better. Let's do our best, man, to lift each other up, and put the black eye of 2020 behind us.